it's safer than most drills. You know, there's some drills where what we call the spider drill, which is, it's going to be hard to explain, but you have 3 different levels. You have your linemen going at each other, and then a few yards further you have your linebacker, fullback types going at each other, and then at the end of the at the end of the chute, so to speak, you have your DBs and receivers, and the back will run, you know, try to run through everybody on a one-time shot. And sometimes what will happen is that back will get a head of steam when if he makes it past the lineman and the linebacker. So he's running, you know, he's already run 10 yards by then, and he's got a great head of steam. And then if a corner or a safety shakes a tackle, and then he goes to make, he shakes the blocker, and then he gets ready to make that tackle, and that guy's got a big old head of steam. Those collisions are not very good at all. This one, it's tighter. It's you know, the offensive and defensive players are just nose to nose almost, so you don't generate a lot of what we call hat speed before they run into each other, and the back is not very far behind. So it's really a relatively safe drill. I mean, anytime you have contact, somebody can get hurt.
There was some conflict in here about who won the actual 3-on-3.
The offense won.
The offense won,
yeah,
okay.
The offense won.
But they were saying, the defensive players were in here today, and they were saying, but they won overall.
Yeah, all the other drills, like yesterday, the defense dominated inside drill. This time they won inside drill by, you know, maybe a couple. It might have been like 6-4 or 5-4, you know, with the 1s and 2s. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was relatively close. But the defense won the inside drill with the 1s and the 2s. Pass skeleton was won by the defense, like 21-14 or something like that. The 11-on-11, the defense, the 1s versus the 1s, the defense won like 11-8 or 11-9, something like that. Might have even been 12-8. And then when the 2s versus 2s went, at the end it was 8-8. It was a tie, 8-8. We went one more play, and the defense won that one too. So they won the tiebreaker. So that was yeah, the defense pretty much had their way. I was getting a little bit, I don't know if I wasn't necessarily disgusted with the offense, but I was getting I was a little upset with the offense. I felt like in shorts, when everybody knew there's no tackling, no contact, everybody's flying around making plays, you know, looking really great, looking brave, you know, and then we started to have some contact, and all of a sudden we dropped more balls, we fumbled more balls, you know, they weren't playing with as much reckless abandon or just confidence, I guess. So, but then, you know, I called everybody up right before 11-on-11 because I thought the energy level was going down, and looked like everybody was ready to go to spring break, and I really tried to convince them that these last 20 minutes of practice we need to get after it, and they did, you know. Even the people watching felt like all of a sudden we kind of got life again right there at the end. So it was good to see them finish the way they did. I'll tell you, just talking about some individual stuff, the young backs had a couple, you know, I'm talking about Caleb and Jackson and Richard. Samuel.
Richard.
They had some nice blocks and runs.
Richard, being so young, still, I guess he had a decent day yesterday.
Yeah, he did yesterday and today. He actually picked up a linebacker blitz. Not perfect, really? But he struck him pretty darn good.
Do you think it's tough for those guys to be physical immediately?
Yeah.
Because it's intimidating?
Well, it could be intimidating. It could be that you're just not sure what to do.
Yeah.
And when you're not certain of what to do, it's hard to play full speed when you're a little bit confused as to what your assignment is or exactly what your technique is. But I believe after the last 2 days, those two young backs gained a lot of confidence. And of course, Caleb already has kind of been through that, so I'm not trying to put them ahead of Caleb by any means. But for them to be just brand new freshmen going through that kind of thing for the very first time, they were able to, have a couple big runs. I mean, Dontavius, I know, had a couple touchdown runs, and Caleb knocked some people back in the end zone. Richard knocked some people back to get a first down, and I think he also scored a touchdown that might have got called back.
Do you think Noshawn's missing out on the fun?
Yeah, I bet he's sick to his stomach. I think he really wants to get more reps than we're giving him right now.
Yeah.
And right now, I don't know how. He'll get some before it's over this spring, but we just not in a rush to do it because we have enough young backs that we need to learn a lot about. It's good. It's good for them.
In fact, those young guys are picking up blocks, like you said, and that's always something you always worry about with running backs.
Yeah, well, and it was just one play, but it was usually the first time that happens, you don't even make contact, or you just miss the assignment altogether. So that was good. And I'm not going to sit here and say, Coach Ball might have been right behind him, trying to help him, know exactly what to do. But you still got to do it, and you got to do it with a little bit of bravery. He showed that.
Was Lloyd Carr as good as you'd hoped today?
He was good. He was tremendous. It was standing room only, and he did a great job. Everybody enjoyed it. The coach, our coaches were there. Everybody was in there. There was not enough room for everybody in there, and I hope he enjoyed it too.
What was the venue for that?
The Foundry, part of the Civic Center. Behind the Civic Center, I think it's Foundry Road, and on the other side, I think they call it the Foundry.
Behind the Classic Center,
Behind the
by the
Classic
parking
Center.
deck.
Oh, okay, not the Foundry Parking and
Across,
Spot.
no.
No, I think they call it the Foundry.
Foundry Conference Room or something? Okay. Standing room only.
Did you just call him, or how'd that work that he got him down here?
I think Lauren got him, Big Lauren.
Okay.
Warren's got contact.
Lauren,
does.
Everybody,
Lauren knows everybody.
Lauren knows everybody, and the Pope knows Lauren.
The layoff in the middle, you like the way that falls?
It's just the way it is. The guys that have gotten banged up to this point, they're probably gonna have a much better chance of being ready by Monday and not losing any work in the meantime. So, and we've got a few guys in that category. I don't know. I know there's a lot of guys. I like D'Amico Goodman. I think could come back full speed. And there's a couple other guys I don't remember who, but they seem like Tanner might be back by then, and if he might not have played at all next week. And a couple guys today, we'll see how. Dewberry is another guy that could come back. Still missing. Justin could be back.
What's his issue, man? I figured that out.
I should know, but I don't.
I think it continues.
There's a lot of guys, 125 guys.
I know.
Anybody else? All
I
right.
guess with regard to the guys that got hurt today, other than this little, you don't foresee anything lingering other than.
You don't. I don't think so. I don't know. Marcus Washington would be the one that you might just have to wait and see how that shoulder is.
Is that a chronic thing with him?
He's heard it before once, but it's not like all the time. But he's heard it once before. I'm trying to think. Figgins, you would have to. It could be a high ankle sprain that could keep a guy out the rest of spring. Sometimes that happens, but usually on an ankle, you're sitting there thinking, a good week to 10 days, and you're probably fine. Even shorter sometimes, depending on how severe.